people, it's the same shit thing over and over, right? They
Well, so
know.
let me ask you, like, let's say down the road, a couple of years from now, you have a kid,
Yeah.
and I want to role play with you a little bit. You're a kid. He comes from
I'm the
school.
kid?
No, I'll be the kid.
Yeah.
He comes from school, and would you want your kid to be a vegan? Like growing up,
I think so.
would you instill those values? Let's say.
I wouldn't instill the values, but I wouldn't force them on
So
them.
let's say he comes home. Let's play this out a little bit.
So I already have a son.
You already
You
have a
said he.
son. His Sonny is
Not a daughter.
Sorry, Jasmine. We're not.
All
Well,
right.
It could be a daughter, but because I'm a male, I'm gonna pretend like.
Let's just say I have twin sons then. Make
Yeah.
it mention.
You have a daughter and I'm the son. Okay.
Okay.
And
twin of them. Twins.
and so picture me as your son.
Okay. Fuck.
All alone with me, and we're waiting for the sunlight.
Is this your first time in the podcast here?
No. In this house, yeah.
Like, did we record on this with this setup?
Well, what's different about the setup?
I mean, I didn't have these mics. These are new. The mics and the headphones. We did.
No, but we had the headphones. We definitely had the mics too.
No, we did it virtually. But the headphone.
No, I've done three. So this is my third one then, I guess. The first one was the Zoom call. The second one was at your
Yeah,
rental.
The rental studio. Yeah, that was my headphones though. That was like the rented studio.
Yeah, but
ones.
you still had the stuff there.
It was similar though.
Yeah.
It wasn't the exact brand.
Okay,
though.
okay, got
Yeah. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your host Sunny. And
Are we already recording?
kind of. I'm like, fuck it, just press the record button. It's the holidays. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Boxing Day for those that are like online shopping. These are weird times, but hopefully these are festive times.
Yeah.
I got my good pal. For those of you who know him, you know him. For those who don't, it's Amneet Bola.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, man? So you like the mic the way?
Yeah, it's good, it's
so
good.
just just try to speak right into it.
Yeah,
and then,
it's good.
And then this arm moves.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Make sure your arm doesn't move.
How you been, man? What's going on?
I've been all right, man. I've been trying to.
What are you
I don't
doing?
know.
What are you doing downtown, by the way?
What am I doing downtown? I had to check my mail at my condo.
Okay.
And you asked me to come see you. You're begging for a podcast, so I had to come. Yeah, but it was an excuse to. I had to check my mail anyways.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm
we were supposed to do a podcast a while ago, but like it's been one thing after the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Just getting busier, I guess.
Yeah,
during December.
But when you ask somebody what have they been doing since the quarantine, what kind of response do you get? Oh, just trying to keep busy.
Yeah.
Is that nothing like specific, right?
That's true. No,
Right.
I mean, I feel like I know a lot of people in my circle that are doing like even look at me, for example, with like Mattology now. It's like just doing so much busy shit to keep busy.
Right.
But it's also now getting you thinking like, for the people that are just keeping busy, is it unnecessary time that they're spending on keeping busy?
Right. So if you're
Because I think the thing is like people hate being idle, right? And that's why the quarantine tested a lot of people who are now in a situation where now legally you can't go out.
Yeah.
You're you're idle.
Yeah.
And now they're finding ways. In the beginning, it was a bit more of a shock. That's like, wait, I'm like this social being that loves to socialize, and now all of a sudden I'm stuck in my condo and I can't interact with anybody.
Yeah. Right.
How do I react? And now it's like finding that how to keep busy.
Well, everybody's still interacting. Even what we're doing today is illegal, right?
Don't mention my address, man, motherfucker.
Somebody's gonna fucking call 311.
I think I'm allowed one person, but you're right. Yeah,
I don't think you are, man. I think it would have to be within your own home address.
If my mom's hearing this, please set my bill. But yeah, man, I think it's interesting times nonetheless, bro. Like it's been a weird December. I mean, I'm lucky that I'm fortunate that I'm not working. Took the rest of the month off, so I'm gonna be back to work. I think January.
But is your work the type of work where it's just gonna pile up on you in January? The amount that you didn't do in December?
No, not like that. I think it's more like project based and deal based. So like it depends. Like we just prolong whatever it is that we're doing to the next stage, right?
Oh, that's good then. I mean, it's good to have a job where you can actually like unwind and take vacation days, as opposed to all these things are sitting for you when you get back to work.
Right.
Like of that, but like that was probably a lot of your previous jobs, right?
Yeah. Because it's like even if I let's say call sick.
Yeah.
It's like you
It's
call
your work.
sick.
It's your work.
You kind of have to after you sober up and fuck, why to call in sick today?
Yeah.
You figure out and you realize that, hey, I need to get back to work so that, because I have shit that's going to pile up and it's going to require me to work longer now.
Yeah.
On the next day, right?
But do you think we're working harder now that we're in a pandemic in terms of, because people are working from home, they're working all day, all night. People that have no life to begin with, all they think about is work. They're workaholics, right?
Yeah.
They care about the work. They're tormenting other people.
Where do you fall in that spectrum? Where are you?
I think I worry a lot about work.
Yeah.
I think I definitely can't unwind.
Yeah. Do you harass my brother quite a bit?
Yeah, I do.
For the people who don't know, my brother actually works directly for a manager at his company, and that manager's name is Amneet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Jazz is great.
But I feel like you guys are always working. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, so our deadline was supposed to be in June, and it was just December now, so it got pushed back 6 months, right? Just because of technology and everything that happened. Okay. Yeah, but I need to find a way to not care. I guess I just end up being more stressed because I keep caring about work even when I log off.
Right. I'm like that too, man.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are, where it's like, you know, I mentioned this morning to my girl. I was like, hey, I feel so distant. And she's like, from me? I'm like, no, from work. Like distant from work because I haven't checked my email in the last 2 days.
That doesn't stress you out even a little bit?
It did occur to me this morning. I'm like, fuck, I feel distant from work. I need to I can't help.
Even if the emails, like, they're not for you, like, you still have to check them, right? That's work in itself. Like, you're gonna have thousands of emails.
Yeah, I'm going through a little bit of a situation because so I moved from the finance team to the investment team, right?
Yeah.
So the finance team has a group email, and the investment team has a group email.
Okay,
so now I'm getting emails I shouldn't even be receiving from the beginning.
It's hard, yeah.
From like a group that I'm not even a part of.
So filter those out.
So yeah, I need to go through IT and try to get myself off those lists.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can imagine like the amount of emails I'm getting.
Do you know how to use filters in Outlook?
I know. Fuck you, man.
So why don't you just
Of course I fucking do.
Filter those out. We go through IT or something.
I'd rather just remove myself instead of having like unnecessary space being taken up in my spam folder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
'Cause that's what filter means. You just move it into a different folder.
If I did not have filters in my Outlook, I think on average we probably get 400 emails a day, give or take, right? I would be going crazy, right? So I have like, what are some of your like the filters I have are like?
Are you really gonna do this?
No,
like what do you have?
Like if it's sent to this person and sent to this person, then alert me.
Okay.
Right? Like or if it comes from my manager and it comes at this time, then alert me then.
Is that the type of filters you have?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like that.
It's very
That's sick.
It is because like that's the only way. When I first
so wait, let me get this straight. So you have to if it's an email that copies somebody else,
then I care about it less because somebody else is on the chain.
Okay, I gotcha.
Because if I'm in the to field or the CC field, different filters.
Gotcha.
Right? Rules, I guess they call them, right?
Yeah.
It's not filters.
It's rules. It's rules. Yeah.
But there's so many things you can do, right? Like times and everything.
And then times, yeah. Like if you message me within business hours, I'll reply. If not, then yeah.
You can set your Outlook so like people can see your calendar, and so like they can't like book you for a meeting at like 4 p.m. if you block it off, right?
Yeah. It's so true. You know, so I'm still reading that book called *Sapiens*. Like my goal is to finish it by the end of the year. I've been reading like it's crazy because like I time block like I try to 30 minutes in the morning, and 30 minutes in the evening. Yeah, that's an hour
of reading.
And if I were to tell you an hour of reading, you'll be like, I don't have time.
Yeah, for sure.
But you realize 30 minutes go by really quick.
When in the morning, like before work?
Just whenever. Like right now, because of this quarantine, I don't have to worry about getting up and getting in the shower right away, getting ready.
But when do you do the reading?
Yeah, before work. Yeah. Like before work, I'll brew up a coffee, get on the couch, or stay in bed. Yeah. And I'll just read.
That's the good thing about you. As soon as I'm up, I'm thinking about work.
Yeah. What does that mean though? What do you think? Like why? I think you need to have a little bit of a detachment from work. You need to you have to find that balance.
There's a lot of factors that go into that, right?
Right.
Like it's just like, if I don't think about work, I'm only making my life harder for one.
Okay.
But then again, we can go back to that question: is why should my life be that hard to begin with, right? It's just because I guess we don't have the resources. But then it comes to the question: is can we afford the resources?
Yeah.
Right. So like,
so it's like legitimate concerns, but I think that those you can still have. Don't get me, because you're making it sound like I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
Like I have a million stresses about work that go on, and I think in 2020, I've tried to learn how to have time blocked out where I don't think about work. Because honestly, man, like
good for you. I can't do that yet.
It's something you can build towards. It's like a, how we talk about discipline.
Yeah.
Time blocking is a form of discipline.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a new 2021 theme. Time blocking. You know how we set up goals like I want to go to the gym. Sorry guys, not the Rona. He just smoked up.
He did. I didn't do it.
But so what was what's a very, very trendy habit today or goal? Like working out.
Yeah.
What else? Doing something new.
Yeah.
But the next part now, I think, is going to be time blocking. And, Gurminder Banga, he actually has a program online that he does for $99 where he teaches you the ways how to time block.
Right.
You should check it out, man. I haven't done it yet, but I told him I'll check it out and give a review of my thoughts. But you time block and that's the time where it's just everything else.
I mean, it sounds like a fantasy, man.
You'll work towards it, man. 2021.
No, but I just it's like
even if you start off with increments, doesn't mean that you need it doesn't have to be like an outrageous 4 hours.
Yeah.
You start in maybe like a time block of 15 minutes.
I'm not
30 minutes.
Maybe I'm making myself sound like a crazy worry bug, and it's not that I do time block. I say I do that, but at the end of the day, I guess subconsciously a little bit I'm still thinking about it,
right
about work a little bit, I guess, right? And I guess the root cause of that is I guess I don't have anybody to rely on.
Okay.
So once we solve that, I guess it should be better, right?
Well, that's the thing. When you look at solutions to time block, and you just did it right now, you're like, well, why am I thinking about work? And you said lack of resources.
Yeah.
So that way, that could be a work goal of trying to get a resource.
Yeah.
Or figure out ways to efficiently work as a group or a team.
Yeah.
So that you can do that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to what I was saying, the book that I'm reading, Sapiens.
I feel like you've been reading that book for a year.
I have.
So you're not time blocking at all.
I'm making progress. Couple pages a week instead of a day.
What the fuck? So all this time blocking shit is just bullshit,
bro. It's new, man. I'm telling you, I'm being more mindful in the latter part of the year.
Yeah.
More particularly in the last maybe 8 weeks.
Okay. Latter part of the year. You mean last 2 months?
Last 2 months. Because I'm in the same boat as you. It's still something that I struggle with.
Yeah.
Not thinking about work.
Right.
But in the book they were talking about how when he first started communicating from one country to another, how do you communicate? By mail. You would write a letter. You couldn't write too much.
Send a raven.
You would literally put it in. Even from India, when I was younger, before they had STDs. Remember the STD? So it's not that kind of STD, but
I don't know what it's called.
In India it's called STD. I forgot what it stood for. It's literally it's
a box with a phone.
A box with a phone. Yeah. I don't know what the fucking STD stands for. You want to look it up? Yeah. But for my non-Indian brown viewers, I know why you guys are losing your shit. But yeah, so it's an STD, and before that they had mail, so they would write a letter, and they would be so and so in Canada, you guys are good. What's it called?
Subscriber trunk dialing?
Yeah, that's it. Subscriber trunk dialing.
Yeah.
Subscriber trunk dialing.
What the hell?
It's the weirdest acronym
ever
to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so listen, before it was by mail, and not just by ravens, but there would be
It's not anything by ravens. I don't think it's actually a real thing.
Yo, medieval times, bro. But it has to be a time when they fucking
is it? I don't know. The whole ravens thing.
Yo, you don't think a bird ever took someone's message from one person to another?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think that in the medieval times or fucking in the Roman times that they trained a pigeon, a white pigeon, to carry a note from one kingdom to the next?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like.
Why do you think it's not likely?
How do you
I'm leaning towards the idea that it's possible. Because I think I've seen it in movies.
But what movies is your fucking your thing, right?
No. I've seen when they train pigeons, pigeons can fly away and come back.
But explain the training,
and even in history,
process.
I don't know what the fuck. If I could do it, I would do it. What do you mean explain the training?
I don't know.
Process? Wait, how the hell would I?
Well, you seem to know that you seem to believe it. So that's been you've seen it in movies. That can't be your only.
No, but I feel like you could train birds. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll look it up. If there's actually ravens that send messages to people, where did ravens send messages?
Not just ravens. It could
ravens never were used to carry messages, to my knowledge, but pigeons were. Okay.
There we go.
Some species of pigeon demonstrate remarkable natural ability at finding their home, even from great distances away. But so I guess I would have to have your pigeon
to carry
keep it with me.
Yeah.
Fucking feed it, do whatever, and then when I'm ready to send you a message, I send it. Yo, go fucking back home. Are you at my pigeon? Like, it's their ability to find their home. So I guess they must have 2 homes. I don't know. Fuck.
So it's like you train. Yeah, think about that. So you train your pigeon. You gift it to me on Christmas. I have a trained pigeon that I train.
Yeah.
To come back to home.
Yeah.
Gift it to you.
Yeah.
And then we send messages. No, dude. If I release my own pigeon to send a message to you, it'll come back to me.
But how do they know where to go?
They're trained.
To go where though?
Yeah.
Like you're sending the same message to the same people all the time? Like what kind of direction?
Like a postal office maybe. Maybe they're from the postal network. Maybe these pigeons belong to like a postal network, and every town has a postal network, and they train a bird to go to a certain location and come back.
Yeah, maybe
that makes sense.
And then somebody there.
By the way, I just made that up.
It's good logic.
Yeah.
That a bird can only know one place to go, and then from there it goes back home, right?
Yeah.
Once they see who the message is from, who's to, they put it somewhere.
What do you think the first message was?
Huh?
The very first message a bird ever like sent across to someone. Let me look that up.
Hey, did you get this? And then they have no way of knowing back if they got it or not.
That's funny. Yeah, that could be. I'm trying to turn my laptop on.
Okay, don't fucking even search that. You're gonna fucking. What are you gonna fucking understand about that? That makes no sense. I mean, first message. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, so they're talking about, okay, so going back to what I was trying to say. So letters, right? Miscommunicated. And then like technology is perceived to make your life better.
Yeah.
Like improve your life.
Right.
Right. You go from like the Walkmans to the MP3s to you can carry more music, right?
Yeah.
As an example. This is a pure, simple example. But like with email communication, what has been the evolution of communication? It started with emails. Then you got your telephone. Then you got email.
Wait, it started with email, then got telephone? I don't think so.
It could be the other way around. Oh, sorry. Telephone first.
Yeah.
And then it was email.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, trajectory right now of evolution of communication. From email went to text. What are we trying to do? We're trying to communicate to each other in the simplest number of words.
Yeah.
So that our messages can be delivered to one another.
Like nobody calls these
clearly.
Days. Yeah.
Right. So like whether it's texting, now it's even FaceTime. Fuck texting.
What?
I'm a FaceTime you.
But FaceTiming is harder.
Just like communication, right?
But like let's just say like if me and you were to like have a conversation,
right?
If I were to call you, be like, "Hey, Sonny, how's your day going?" You're like, "I just woke up." This is exactly how I went today, right?
Yeah.
I woke up this time I'm coming downtown. But if I texted you, "Sonny, I'm coming downtown 12:30. Are you gonna be there?" Yes, no. Done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you FaceTime, we're definitely gonna talk about something else before we talk about what we need to talk about. Right. So
no, you're right.
So no one is. Seems like no one has time to waste, but they have time to waste because they're texting more people in that time.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
Yeah,
and so that was like the conclusion of the book is like, now we have emails.
Yeah,
and what stresses us now? That the thousands and thousands of emails we have to go through.
Exactly.
So we thought that communication, like technology, would help us have less stress.
Right.
Like, why am I going to write a letter and wait 12 days to get a fucking response when I could get a response instantly?
Yeah.
Like right now, within seconds, if I email you, you'll see my message. Yeah. But now, instead of creating clarity and sanity, what has it done? It's done the opposite. Mm-hmm. We're all fucking stressed out. First thing we do in the morning is go through our emails.
So do you think it's right for somebody to have time to think before they write an email? Like if you I can think before I write a text.
Right.
If you ask me something that I'm a little uncomfortable with on the phone, I probably have to answer it right then and there. Or you would know that I'm being awkward or it's a difficult question for me, right?
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is the how true we are in texts and emails and what we really think is not the case.
Yeah,
because it's not an instinct right away.
The biggest part of any form of communication, man. Like if you think about it, is body language.
Yeah, it is.
We've been taught about that in elementary when you took acting classes or drama class.
Yeah,
like body language, facial expressions.
Yeah,
when you strip away that element, like the fluctuation of one's voice, the tone of one's voice, the way they're looking at you, their body, like their tone and whatnot. You take that away, and if you just make it now just straight text, now the way it's really subject to my interpretation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like if my girl replies LOL, and I can interpret that as being fuck, she's mad at me,
sarcastic.
She's being sarcastic, or is it a legit laugh out loud? Like I'm losing my shit. You never know, right?
Yeah, right.
And so, dude, I think it leads to a lot of drama too sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
The way text messages can sometimes be interpreted, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of speculation, right?
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of speculation, yeah.
So, you know, I know we've been talking about a lot of random shit. Yeah. We just got comfortable. It's Saturday. We're hanging out at my place.
I still don't know. Are we still recording?
We are recording, bro.
I think this guy pulled me into it right away.
But like, yo, how you been, man? How's 2020? Like, we're 4 days, 5. Wait, what is it today? 26th? Yeah.
Honestly, it's fine, man. Like, I think no one's gonna give you specifics of how 2020 went. You know,
like for you, for like, I remember the conversation we had.
Yeah.
And it was me, you, and Samir back in April, March.
Yeah.
Now fast forward maybe 9 months.
Yeah.
How have you changed, man? Like, what's going on?
How have I changed?
Yeah.
Good question, man. I actually, how I've changed. I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have changed.
I mean, you got your own place.
Yeah, but that's not really a change. It's
any sort of change. It doesn't have to be like a dramatic, but black and white,
right?
Kind of change, right?
I think as a person, I'm still more or less the same.
Okay.
I think now that you have more time, you tend to waste more time too. So I think as a person, I've changed a little bit in the sense that I'm trying to appreciate my time a little bit more and say that before I had to take the GO train to go to work, this was time dedicated to that. But now if I don't do something for that hour and a half, I kind of feel like an idiot.
Right.
I'm like, I'm wasting my life away. What am I doing?
Okay.
Right. Like, I'm like, what is this? Work 9 to 5 or longer hours for me, and then
it's not even like a 9 to 5 now, man. It's like literally a 9 to 9. You have like pockets in your day where you may not be doing anything. Right. But it's because you know you can work later.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And so you end up working more.
And working more, and then you give that stress to other people.
Right.
And keeps going up and up and up.
And that's the aura in your household.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a part of a household and family and you're stressed out because of work, that spreads on to everybody else in the family, I think. Right?
It does, yeah. Jasmine's got yelled at for no reason a lot of times.
Big shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah. But like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think 2020 is a blessing in disguise in a lot of ways. Is that it made you realize that you know, the value of time, being in bigger places.
Right.
That's why the condo market's crashing.
Right.
Yeah. You know, like being not being able to see your friends, right? Like before you used to go like a month without seeing your friends, but that's only because you should see other friends maybe. Yeah. But like if you're just longing to see anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be your friend. Yeah. It could be like a freaking somebody on the street walking, somebody you have interaction with, right? Yeah. Remember the episode in Breaking Bad? It always gets to me where I'll think about where Walter White was in, like, he was locked up. Like, he was trying to stay away. That vacuum guy put him to work.
Yeah. By the way, can you just turn that off? Sorry, I didn't realize we have music playing.
Yep.
You can just press that button. Yeah. The next one. All right. There you go. Damn, we had music playing in the back. Yeah. So that scene. Sorry, not to interrupt.
The Walter White site.
Yeah.
Walter White scene where he was. I guess this is when he just got caught, and that vacuum guy, that weird vacuum guy that used to the red van. Remember?
Yeah.
He's taken away. So it was like three weeks since you seen anybody. He had like a beard, whatnot. He's like, the guy has no relationship to him. He's like, stay with me for 20 minutes and play cards with me. Right.
Yeah.
Like, just talk to me about anything.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. So remember, he was just like he looked fucked up. He was begging him, like, I'll give you another 100,000 or something, whatever dollars. Just stay with me and play 1 or 2 games of cards. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I guess we always, we're not listening. That's why we're doing this podcast today. We're not obeying the rules. Right. So like, but like, we're not going to any extreme. But
so I think you're right. I think we have a greater appreciation when we spend time with people. Mm-hmm. Like, I think before it was a little bit more, you know, we're out. It's a luxury. Like, not a luxury. It's a given. The ability to socialize is like a given. There's nothing to think about. But now, if you think about it, like, to be honest, man, like the ability to chill with people now has become a luxury. Yeah. And now, not even a luxury. It's become like a life and death. Yeah. That's insane.
But what have we learned from the pandemic? That also that I guess it's tested our abilities, but we also know now how to function a little bit in isolation, right? And how to be alone for a few days.
That's true.
Right? Like, we never knew that life before. So like, you would probably, if it was this normal time, let's just say you were sick, right? You had a cough, whatnot. You couldn't get out of bed. I think you would probably go crazy just 2 days at home, even being sick. Right. No people around you, whatnot, right? Yeah. But like now, like, I think I could probably go 3-4 days without like seeing like a face, I guess, whatnot, right? Yeah. I would probably go a little bit crazy, but like we're a little bit used to it now.
Yeah. It's made us a little bit more resilient in that aspect, that we don't feel alone when we're alone. Because there's a difference between like lonely and feeling alone, which we already talked about in the last podcast.
But they said
previous
that a lot of depression cases that are going up, and
man,
like it's a lot of suicides now.
A lot of suicides, a lot of drinking, a lot of drug abuse, a lot of all sorts of things. I think that where there's like the positive, there's always going to be negatives, right?
But this is definitely, and let's just state this for the record, this is definitely a negative.
It's a huge negative.
It's negative.
I think we're all trying to find the silver lining.
Yeah.
At this point, which I know we all have. Like I think everyone that I've talked to has at least one good thing about 2020.
Yeah.
Which has kind of been profound in one way or the other.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's been a menacing year, man.
Yeah.
Like let's not forget the mortality rates and the death toll that as a result of COVID, right?
Right.
Speaking of which, today is the 26th and it's the full lockdown happening in Southern Ontario.
Just today, the day. What's the difference between today and any other day?
I don't even watch news anymore. We were already in the lockdown. Toronto and Peel. I think they extended it to like the rest of.
But it's no difference in terms of lockdown measures.
Yeah.
Right.
So here's an example. Amneet, I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm sure my listeners kind of think about this as well. I had this thought. I'm like, fuck, 10,000 square feet facilities, like retail facilities. We're talking about your big box like Walmart's, Loblaws. What else is there? Canadian Tires. Only about 1,000 to 2,000 square feet of that space may possibly sell essentials. So like your groceries and whatnot. Everything else, man, is clothing and other non-essential items.
Right.
But because of that little loophole, they're okay because they have. And I think
why don't they just close those areas?
Yeah, like if you're gonna do a full fucking lockdown, you gotta have to at least make sure the rules are a little bit more leveled.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't believe these conspiracy theories that we're saying that the government's involved, and what benefit do they have in their lockdown? Like why would they want business to suffer? Because they're trying to bail them out, right? So people like Samir who think everything's a conspiracy, government discovered that, right? To some degree, I understand that
Samir's jokes, man.
to some degree, I
love you, Samir.
I love Samir too. But to some degree, I think that. Yeah, a lot of this shit is bullshit. I think now, I don't know if lockdowns really work because cases are going up, right?
Yeah. Well,
but maybe it's because of people like me and you that don't listen to lockdowns, right?
True.
There's
man, you make me look bad now.
No, well, it's the truth, right? But we're not listening to it because.
But wait, let me ask you something. Have you been taking the necessary precautions? How are you I'm
taking the minimum precautions that are mandated to me by the government to wear a mask.
Right.
But what else am I really doing?
Yeah. Are you staying within your bubble? Are you?
Yeah. I see the same three or four people if I chill with Amit, Amit, and Reyes.
Right.
And if they come to my house or I go to their house and that, but it's still not allowed. Yeah. Right.
It's interesting because it's made me. And I'm sure all of us a little bit more the little simple habits, washing your hands every moment in the car.
I don't do that anymore.
In the car, I need to have Purell no matter what.
But you still do that?
What do you mean?
Wash your hands every. Are you paranoid? I don't do that. I used to do that a lot before it started, but now I barely not I wash my hands, but I'm not paranoid washing it fucking this and shit.
No,
right?
Not like that, but I'm saying I do anytime I feel like I've touched a public space.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try to wash my hands.
Yeah, public space stuff. I get that. But I'm talking about before it was more even within your own house, you were
no, not in my own house. No. Imagine,
before you're doing
dude,
that, right?
Imagine bowling ball alleys. You know,
they're not open though.
You know the bowling balls?
Yeah.
Imagine all the time you would just stick 3 fingers in there.
And what are you talking about right now?
But they were never cleaned. Those parts of the bowling ball, I bet you were never cleaned.
So you think we're never gonna have bowling alleys again?
So that's what I'm alluding to. I feel like we will, but they need to make sure that every.
What's the first thing you're gonna do as soon as the virus is over? Are you gonna go to a nasty, sweaty club?
It's a good question, man.
Let's just say you're all in the clear.
I'm thinking about the things that I'm doing now. That what out of that list is that I can't do. I think traveling, bro. I think once.
But you weren't a big traveler.
I want to though.
Yeah,
that was a big goal of mine in 2020.
Yeah,
to kind of explore and travel, and now I'm hoping I can. Continue doing that.
Yeah. Well, I have a freaking $2,000 voucher from Air Canada.
Yeah, because right now, to be honest with you, the biggest concern or the immediate concern when you think about traveling is which countries are affected. You don't want to go to a country, let's say, that's super affected right now, versus.
But I don't think that's your main concern. To be
my concern is not to travel at all right now. Period. But there's people out there, man. I see on my story.
But is your concern actually realistically not getting infected? Because I think part of you. I think part of us, I don't even care if I get infected anymore.
Why?
Because what difference does it make? Because
what do you mean? What difference does it
make? I think I've already had it.
Okay.
But
what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by I don't care about the infection? Like, why are you following the minimum? Why are you following the rules then? If that's not something
for others.
Exactly
for my family. I'm not from what I read and for whatnot, and like to how the virus has been. I think that I generally, if I were to get it, and I think I've already had it or do have it, whatnot, maybe I have it right now, but I do have it. But like,
man, stay the fuck away from me, bro. Put on your mask. There's actually a powder over there.
But I think
I'm not kidding.
Fuck you. I think I would be more or less okay.
We'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna make sure this guy's wearing a mask.
But I think more or less okay. But like, I think the whole reason you're not going on vacations is because you're going and there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going because of the virus. You're going because, first of all, you're not allowed to go because no resorts and stuff are not even open.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you were to go to like, I don't know. I feel like I'm like a people person. So like to go to like an area that's like totally secluded and like not being able to chat with anybody,
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't find that the true definition of a vacation really. Like, I don't want it somewhere to be crowded. Right. But, like, I don't want it to be like a freaking deserted island with white sand. And it's just.
And, like, there's no one. So, you like when you go traveling, let me ask you a question. What are the important things to you? Like, do you like more of
food?
the partying aspect of it? Like, the socializing?
I did, of course.
Yeah.
Right? I did, of course. And partying was a big part of it, right? When we went to Cuba, Cancun, this, that. Like, you always went to the party resort. And, like, remember me? When I lost you for, like, 36 hours and you showed up at a club. It was like
2015.
Yeah, no. It was after, was it?
That was 2015. Yeah. When me, Roshan, and let's just say I lost these guys and I knew exactly where they were going.
26 hours later.
No, it was like 12 hours later.
Was it?
But yeah, and I found him at the club. There's like more to that story, but let's just leave it at that.
It was like
that's a good time, man. But like I think
exactly. But we're talking about like what makes us.
But like right now for me, I don't mind not having the social aspect. I like more of the culture and the nature aspect, if that makes sense.
But that's not gonna happen if the social aspect's not there. Why are people gonna showcase their culture for who? That they already know their culture? Like if you go
if I go to Italy, a big part of that is like the architecture, the museums, the art.
Right.
Like the culture of that. That's what I mean by the
are those even open?
They're not.
So
that's why right now traveling is not really a question. Right? But like some people out
there.
But
isn't everything I think I feel like in life is better when you do it with somebody else a little bit? Like if you were to do something, I know you have a partner, you have a girlfriend and whatnot. Yeah, it's good with one person, but like, isn't it better to see maybe like a few people doing the same thing as you and enjoying that same part of it? Like I feel like that if you and
I don't get your question. Like what do you mean? What do you mean?
Like if you and your girl were on like a beach by itself with white sand, like the most beautiful place in the world.
Right.
Like yeah, it's great, but like, wouldn't you rather have maybe like one couple like 10 feet down, maybe doing their own thing, but at least you know that they're having fun too?
I don't think about that in that moment. Like if I were in that moment and I'm looking at the water, I don't think in my mind I'd be thinking about I wonder if that couple is having
But I guess what matters.
I think what you're saying is shared experiences. Wouldn't it be nice to share that experience?
Let me clarify. But I'm talking about you're talking about in that moment. I don't care. Yeah. But we're talking about for like, let's just say for like 2 days.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be you and your loved one, right? But like you're enjoying the shared experience with that person, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, to like really say that, I don't know, maybe I'm being stupid, but like I still want somebody else.
No, it's fair. Like if you want to be able to share that experience with other people.
No. I'm not gonna. I don't even know the other people, right? But it's just to know that maybe I'm doing something as cool as what somebody else thought was cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
I think I get that, man. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Like if I'm going to, let's just say like, I don't know, like North Bay, Ontario.
Yeah.
Like right?
Is that even a place?
Is it?
Thunder Bay.
Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
North something is a place. North Bay. No, sorry, maybe Thunder Bay. But if I'm going there and some tourist attraction, right?
Yeah.
Tourist attraction, or make a good example, CN Tower. If you went there by yourself, like Like you would be like, okay, like there's no big. Like,
yeah. Okay.
It's cool.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. Like, okay, I think that I can seeing tower gives me a little perspective. Like, if I'm there with my significant other, being alone is a little bit eerie and creepy because we're so used to having it not deserted. Yeah. Always busy.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's more like it's like everybody else appreciates this too. So there must be something good to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Otherwise it's like, why am I here? Like it's if you go to a concert.
Yeah.
Would you go to a concert just you?
Like a Beyonce concert just for you?
Because a big part of that is enjoying the entertainment
with the other people.
With people around you.
Exactly.
Right? All the shoulder rides, the people looking around you.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The head taps. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good analogy. If you rewind a little bit, we were talking about 2020. I think, man, just like for me, I think, I came across another podcast. I forgot their name. They're from the States, but they were talking about this idea of a millionaire mindset.
Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
I listen to my peers. Like I should support.
So this person in California.
They're in the U.S. They're in the U.S.
Are they? You know,
it was a random podcast. Okay. I had no idea who they were, but they showed up on Spotify, and I clicked on it. I'm like, why not? So they're talking about the millionaire mindset, and what the millionaire mindset is that waking up every single day in the morning with that one thought that you're grateful for being alive.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Yeah. Everything else in life is a bonus. Just remember that. Being alive is the luxury as luxury as it can get.
Is it though? But let's just say if you were sick.
Hold on, let me finish the thought, what they're saying. So everything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
So every time you try something and you fail, when you have that thought, that's your baseline being alive.
Yeah.
You can navigate through life and bullshit and truly elevate in life with that thought when you have that perception that everything else is bonus.
I understand.
Because like another way to look at that is there's people on this planet that are dreaming about the lifestyle you have right now.
Right.
Like what your life is, the way it is right now. And even for my listeners, whoever you are in this very moment, there's another kid dreaming about, I wish I could do.
But what if you were podcasting a homeless person? Nobody trying to dream about that.
What do you mean?
Like you're saying that somebody's trying to dream about.
No, I'm saying that you should look at your life like that. Even though I might complain,
what is that homeless person looking at?
Obviously, there's exceptions. Like the homeless.
So there shouldn't be exceptions if something's a true fact, right? Like
I'm not saying it's a true fact. I'm showing you that this is the way to. It's like it's a self-development tool. Right?
Yeah, but your message was that every day you should wake up appreciating, like think that.
Listen, I don't expect a homeless person to be listening to this podcast, because if you can have the ability, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So the audience that I'm speaking to, at the bare minimum, I'm saying, if you wake up with that mindset, the way you're living today, there's someone else dreaming about it. It's gonna help you navigate the bullshit, is what I'm saying.
Of course.
And I think that was profound, man.
No,
I was like, yo, I'm thinking about my life today. I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that. We get so caught up in the things we don't have, where we don't appreciate the things that we do have. And we don't appreciate to the extent that, okay, there's another kid somewhere else in another part of the world that wishes he lived in the city. Or that wishes he could have a drink in the middle of the afternoon without having any sort of scrutiny.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, and I completely agree with that. But I completely agree. Let's leave it at that. That I agree with that mindset. That's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
And everything, like people talk about, I want, like, for example, one of my friends, undisclosed, like they said that they have so much money now saved up during the pandemic, but nowhere to spend it. Right? Yeah. Like it's just like that's so they one depression was no money, now money, but nowhere to spend it.
Yeah.
Right? So like,
I mean, that's not a bad problem to have.
but tell me, if you had a lot of money and you were in your own house, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
You can't throw a big party for your friends. You can't go to freaking get a massage. You can't go to the golf course. You can't go on vacation. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with all that money? I think that would probably make me feel more depressed. That I had all this money that's potential there to do all this shit that I used to do. Actually, that's probably the biggest problem, to have the most amount of money and not be able to do anything with it.
I don't think so, man.
Why not?
I think that level's like, look at celebrities. Celebrities have so much money now, but they're limited in terms of the things they can do. And it's brought them back from like the universe to like ground earth.
So what makes you think the celebrities are not depressed?
I'm just using that as an example of your example of having too much money.
Yeah.
I think they are depressed. Like, they're depressed in the sense that they don't know how to deal with being a regular citizen.
But celebrities are not regular citizens. They're not listening to the rules. They're still having those huge house parties, and maybe they're having it from like 200 people to like 100 people, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that we can compare.
Yeah, they're living it up for sure. I mean, I don't doubt that.
But I'm talking about the true citizen that has $100 million. No one has $100 billion, right? But how much is Jeff Bezos?
No, Jeff Bezos has about 178 billion.
Wow.
Was it 178? Yeah, 100. I was 78 or 178. Yeah, I'm off by 100 billion. Yeah, but I remember the 78.
Yeah. And then Elon Musk is now the second richest person in the world.
Yeah.
Fuck. I listened to his podcast.
Yo, does this make sense to you? Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
So if let's say Jeff Bezos has 178 billion dollars.
Yeah.
There is about 7 billion people in the world.
Yeah.
Why can't he just give $1 billion to everybody?
What incentive does he have?
Right? Because if he gives it was 178. If he gives 7 billion to every single person in the world,
7 billion, no,
7 billion. No, sorry, 1 billion to 7 billion people in the world, he'll have 156 billion left.
What are you talking about? That's not gonna work.
What do you mean? Yeah, exactly. That was a parody. A lot of people.
No. What you said was absolutely wrong. You said 1 billion to every single person.
Yeah,
that can't be it. So that'd be 7 billion times 7 billion.
Yeah. Listen, I figured it out too. But that was what they were saying on TikTok and on Instagram. They were saying, if Jeff Bezos has 178, why doesn't he give $1 billion to every single person on this planet?
Right.
Poverty is gone. Right. And so it was funny to see the number of people commenting and not putting the math together.
Yeah.
I fucking doubted you, man. My bad. I thought you'd be one of them.
Fuck you.
But man.
Like when we see what's the true definition of a philanthropist? Bill Gates says he's a philanthropist. So Jeff Bezos says he's a philanthropist.
Yeah. So I think
the guys on Dragon's Den, they say that they're the philanthropists.
I think there's a difference, right? I think philanthropist for me is to give without attention, right? To give without any sort of recognition.
What's the Oxford Dictionary definition?
A philanthropist?
Check it out.
It's a billionaire.
I don't know what it is, but I'm asking you because like
I think there's the flip side to being a philanthropist is as a tax sheltering. Yeah, as a tax sheltering business.
Well, Samir thinks that charity, coronavirus was invented by or created by Bill Gates, right?
I don't want to talk about someone else's opinion without them being here. I just don't. You know what I mean? If Samir was here, we can call him. We can call him if you want. But I'd rather have him here defend himself than just.
No, but yeah, I'm just saying.
He did say that. I'm not gonna lie. He did mention he's been sending all sorts of conspiracy videos to me. Hella entertaining. Not gonna lie, but definitely shit that
I know one time you went off on him.
I went off on him because he shared with me a video talking about
some Ali guy,
Canada Health Pass and how we're all going to get into concentration camps and shit. And then it was from a doctor. He said he had like a leaked Liberal caucus bill of some sort. So Sonny being me, I ended up going on Google and I Googled this guy, the doctor's name. And the first thing that shows up on Wikipedia is American renowned conspiracy therapist.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Yo, and I called him up. I'm like, dude, this guy's no doctor. This guy's a conspiracy. And then he fucking went off on me. He's still defending himself.
He went off on you. I remember the conversation. He went off on you.
He got so angry, he left the group.
Yeah. When you leave the group, that's the ultimate.
But anyways, yeah, it was funny. But anyways, yeah, I think that's a big part. I mean,
why do I have 2 drinks? Which one's yours?
That's mine. Oh, that's mine. Thanks. What do you? So this year, I asked a bunch of my audience a question today. Like, what were their biggest, the best, proudest moments? What did they learn from 2020? Try to gauge some audience.
What my proudest moment?
So I'm gonna ask you, what was your proudest moment of the year? What are some of your highs?
My highs. It's a good question. I guess we can say getting my own place.
Yeah.
That is a high in the sense that renting.
Okay.
Right. But in the sense that it was out of our comfort zone for me and my wife.
Okay.
Right. It's important. I never used to understand that. We have no problems at home, but just having your own space is so much, right?
Right.
And you probably know firsthand, right? You had no problems living at your Scarborough house, right?
Yeah.
And just having your own place, it's you jerk off in isolation a lot, right? This is unedited, right?
No, this is unedited. Yeah, no comment, man. Yeah, but for the people that don't know, big news. I'm actually leaving downtown. I'm going back to my parents.
Yeah. He got the call from his mom and dad saying,
there's a number of factors. And I think, honestly, like we were just talking about this before the podcast, it's getting lonely in Toronto. Like it's like just there's nothing really to do. I've got a lot of fatigue from working from home, and I think being in the company of more family members would be helpful. Plus, I'll save money.
Yeah,
there's not really much to do. I'm literally in this condo.
Yeah.
I have hella space at my parents. Not gonna tell you where they are, but
I'll tell you.
It's gonna be a bigger podcast studio. It's gonna be more hella cozy.
But why would I want to come there?
To where?
To Scarborough.
To record.
Huh?
I mean, it's gonna be.
I would have to like you a lot more than I like you to come to Toronto. No, I'm serious though. Like
it's true,
right?
It's definitely something I've considered. But at the end of the day, I think how much the podcast has grown and the caliber of guests I have.
How many viewers do you have now?
I don't have viewers. You're gonna break that.
I think I did.
Did you already break it?
Yeah.
Oh, you.
No, it goes back in here.
Is it?
think how many? It's fun to play with though.
Yeah, put that away, man. It's a tripod.
So was there anything else, by the
way? So I think in the year 2020, the statistic I have about 10,000 total streams.
Okay.
Right.
Like over the course of the podcast.
Over the course of 2020.
Right.
Right.
Podcast started in 2020, right?
No, I mean it started a month before that. So I recorded. Actually a year ago, man.
Yeah.
About a year ago, I started like beginning of December. So
why don't you tell us like how the year went for the podcast?
Good question.
Are you doing a weekly thing, monthly thing, bi-weekly thing?
It's what I want to apologize, but it is what it is. I've had delays, like the quarantine, like the COVID fucked shit.
When was your last podcast that you released?
Like with Roop, I did one with Roop.
That was last week, right?
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
For the people that don't know, I launched like Matsology, so that was a big part of this year. Took up a little bit of my time this holiday season, but I think with the podcast, we started with It's Always Sunny in the Six. In a different studio. I had a rented space over at Queen and John.
Was that like an annual lease or like month to month?
It was. I paid for I think 6 months.
Okay.
I gotta get a refund. Yeah.
You only was there for like 2-3 months, right?
I was only there for like 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah. They're not gonna give you a refund.
Yeah, probably not. And then eventually COVID happened, and then I couldn't go to the studio anymore. So we ended up. We second season was stay the fuck home. We did virtual Zoom, which was every week. We were just talking every couple of days. We were just talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Good experience. Quality was shit though.
Yeah.
Quality wasn't that good.
What does that mean? Like the conversations?
No. Sorry, the mic quality.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the conversations were great. It was like a pulse check with everybody, and it's interesting because in the beginning we were very scared. Like I look back at some of my older podcasts, and I'm like, we really had this uncertainty of how the future is going to unfold.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I think now we kind of have a little bit of a preview of how it might end up.
Yeah.
But back then it was like, what the fuck's going to happen?
It was a funny story is when I came back from Costa Rica.
Yeah.
That was literally the time of March, right?
Right.
It was
that was when it happened. Yeah.
So when I came back to the first thing, like I came back to the airport and everybody's like, this is the first time I saw anything about social distancing, right? Like people are like standing like 3-4 meters apart from each other, and one girl accidentally moved a little bit ahead, like maybe like 4 meters, right?
Right.
And the girl was in front of her was like, "Can you get the fuck away from me?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, this is like the first time I've ever heard it. Like now it would probably be a norm. Somebody standing like close shoulders, you're gonna go like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, get away from me, right?"
Yeah.
Like and whatnot, right? So like it was that.
So what was your reaction? You're just like, "What the fuck?"
I was just like, what's going on? Like, is this the? And then I was getting to my point that I came home, and even though me and Jad didn't sleep in the same bed, like I was sleeping facing the other way, right? Like not like I wouldn't even turn. Like even though you know how you at night you change sides, or whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even change sides. I'm like, I can't breathe on her. And we at that point we only had a queen size bed, right?
Right.
So like,
so you're telling me that you turned the other side?
Yeah, I wouldn't. So you're paranoid. I'm paranoid that maybe I caught this virus, but like at the same time, I couldn't isolate anywhere else.
I don't know why I found that funny, but I'm trying to pick. Yeah, that's.
But what would you do? Like at that point, everything was new.
I mean, at that point, like if she's infected, she's already probably infected.
But I didn't. But you listen, you're talking to somebody that was in March. You probably didn't know much.
That's how scared you were, is what you're saying.
But that's how scared everybody was.
Yeah. I agree with you, man, dude. I never like the first time like my parents would step out, I wouldn't make them step out.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going. And I remember we would go to like grocery stores in No Frills, and I would wear gloves, No, like I would wear gloves or wear like a scarf wrapped around me, like extra precaution, right?
So those are the things.
Those are the days, man.
Those are the days.
And I think it's also those are still the days today. But like we have our species, we have this tendency to get desensitized really quickly.
Well, if it doesn't affect anybody,
like we become a little numb to this idea of you know what I mean.
Like you know anybody that died closer to you?
I do. Like not close to me, but I
my
know.
Mossy died.
Oh shit!
Of COVID.
You told me. Yeah. My condolences.
She died literally of COVID.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
so I do know people as well. Like I just like it's real, right? At the end of the day, I think just because
it's not fake, Samir.
Yeah, just because you're immune does not mean that you can't risk. Imagine having that on your conscience, bro.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we take that for granted right now, but like that's a huge fucking.
But yo, remember one of the first things? Like I don't think we should have anything. Like yeah, we're gonna have things on our conscience, but like remember that one of the first things that it was a Joe Rogan podcast, and they were like the guy was like this guy in California got it, and he hadn't been around anyone, like he hadn't traveled. Like, there's nothing they could think of that he could have been around anybody that could have got exposed or anything. Right. And he got the virus. So people were left, like, dumbfounded as to, like, how the fuck did this person get the virus? Yeah. Up until this day, they still don't know.
Yeah. Dude, on Roop's side, like, we know someone that, she knows someone that an entire family, like, I think it was, like, one of the parents got tested positive.
Yeah.
Everybody else got tested as well. Negative.
So
and they're all in the same household.
Right. So this is another friend told me yesterday, undisclosed, just, you know, to keep it safe. He said that the mom got tested positive and the dad didn't.
Right.
I'm like, and he's like, they eat together, they sleep together. But I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. So
doesn't make sense. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions.
I think there's a lot of questions from the top government too. I don't think this virus has completely been figured out.
It hasn't.
Like now, did you hear about that in the UK? There's now like a mutated version of COVID.
I didn't hear about that.
So the UK is in extra lockdown. They first I saw it on Real Toronto News. I'm like, fuck, you know what? It's bullshit. It's just like a meme or whatnot. And then I go on Twitter trends. Yeah. I click on it. BBC News, mutated version of COVID-19.
Yeah, I think I heard about that briefly.
And I'm like, fuck, that's like. And now they're on extra precaution. Apparently, it's the same type of virus, but it spreads from person to person quicker.
Have you ever heard about viruses before this year? No.
No, man. Even the word pandemic.
Which one?
Like the word pandemic.
Yeah.
Like we read about it in history.
I didn't know anything.
Like in like high school.
Yeah.
But I never thought it was a reality.
I didn't know anything.
You know?
I didn't know anything. So
like, yo, dude, if you think about it, like pandemics were a word. Pandemics were a word where.
What's the difference between epidemic and pandemic again?
I'm not sure.
Pandemic is like, I think, like global. Epidemic is, I think, maybe a little bit more central.
Yeah.
I think so.
I have to look it up right now.
Yeah.
Let me check it out.
Why are you texting your girlfriend so much, man?
I'm not, man. I just put picked on my phone. But it's epidemic
versus pandemic.
A widespread occurrence of an infectious disease in a community.
It's epidemic?
At a particular time.
Epidemic. Okay.
So a widespread occurrence of an infectious disease in a community at a particular time.
But like I said, in a community, pandemic would be global, I think.
Right. And then pandemic is global, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the whole country.
Yeah, for the whole country. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, let's see. I don't know. 2020, 2021, I'm marking my... What's the latest time I'm marking clean, man? But I'm just saying, like when I went vegan 6 years ago now, it was like... I think I do good with New Year's resolutions.
Right.
Even though
has it been 6 years?
6 years.
Damn. Yeah. Damn, bro. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So I remember when you first told me.
You're like, what the fuck?
I remember that conversation. Yeah. You went vegetarian. You were always vegetarian.
No. Vegetarian went for 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you ate meat?
What do you mean? Then I ate meat. 2005 I went vegetarian.
Okay.
Before that I ate meat.
Right.
So 2005 was like the first year of university, I think.
Right.
And it was a New Year's resolution again, actually. It was like, fuck. I didn't care about like animals or anything at that point. I was just like, you know what? Summer, I'm like, yo, meat's probably not good for me. Yeah. I'm like, I think I know what happens. I'm going to go vegetarian.
Yeah.
That lasted 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know where. Right? And then 2014, 15 came around.
Okay.
And then, I think it was 14. And then, so 9 years maybe. And then, then I was like, fuck. I'm like, yo, I saw what happened. I'm like, yo, I'm vegan. I'm like, yo, I always doubt myself. I'm like, yo, I'm probably not gonna last. But New Year's resolutions tend to last. So
yeah.
I'm gonna think about a real good one this
That's a good thing, man. Like I think people are a little bit more like my girl was saying the same thing. She's trying to get me to think about a little bit, be a bit more cautious in terms of, not conscious of what kind of meat I eat.
What kind of meat?
What kind?
What does she eat?
She's trying to be more vegetarian. She's chicken only right now.
Did I get to her?
You didn't get to her. Fuck, before she met you. But like,
I have a conversation.
I think even this, like, think about it, man. Like, if you think about one good argument that you brought up on the last podcast was how eating animals is what caused this pandemic.
Why is everybody ignoring that?
Yeah, like a lot of the,
unless it was man-made, like Samir said.
Yeah. What else? What other viruses were there? It was H1N1 was chicken.
Yeah.
There was
bird flu. Animals.
Yeah.
SARS. Actually, I don't know. Swine flu.
Okay.
These are all animal-based viruses.
Yeah.
I like maybe the only one is SARS. I don't know how it started actually.
SARS. SARS is pig, no?
Maybe.
Wait, SARS is a form of bat as well, I think.
What is it? Sorry, anthrax.
Swine flu was.
Anthrax is not a virus, right?
No, that's human made. That's like powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember there was like fucking the anthrax thing. We were like, yo. Like there was a big scare of anthrax. What was it again? Was it powder?
I forgot, but there was powder that was in the States. It was sent to the president, but there was something that was sent here in Canada too. I feel like
it was like a powder, right? People were affected. People just die.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's synthetically synthesized diseases and illnesses out there for sure. And a lot of times, us as a species, we say that we got to do that so we can find the cure, right? But you never know, man.
So, they said that this is the first time the vaccine. So, usually, vaccines, they say that they give you the virus and they build you immunity without actually giving you the symptoms. That's why I was just listening on Joe Rogan podcast right now.
Okay.
Professor was on it. Right. He was like, the way vaccines work is that they give you, like the flu, for example. If you get the flu shot, it gives you the flu without giving you the symptoms of the flu.
Okay.
Right? So your body builds an immunity to it.
Right.
So same thing with the coronavirus, but this time it's the first time that we know of where we're trying to not give you the coronavirus, but build up antibodies, something like that, where you don't get the coronavirus. I think, right? I could be wrong, but this is what I briefly heard. They say the flu gives you the flu, right? Right. The flu-like symptoms. Sorry, they give you the symptoms, but I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking it all wrong. But like that's just what I read. But the vaccine now, the one I think the best one is Moderna and Pfizer, right?
Yeah, I mean both of them. Like I don't know if you've heard, but like they've both been getting like there's headlines out there of people getting allergy reactions.
Oh man, come on!
You know what I mean, like
you're turning conspiracy theories yourself, man. Do you believe in vaccines or no?
I do.
Right? I believe in them too. I think they help a lot of people. They're good, right? Like I don't know about any negative side. You gotta believe what the science says at the time, right? Like we can say this, that, but like I think generally people are good. Mm-hmm. They want to do, like, the government is not trying to screw you over, at least in Canada. Right. So like I think like all these conspiracy theories where like they want to make you get the vaccine. No one can force you to get it, but it's probably in your best interest to get it.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day, like if it can, even if I don't believe in it, me getting the vaccine, what is the worst thing that can happen? Well, like, the reaction is something for sure, but I don't think the state government would do that to society. Like,
I don't think the state government would do it knowingly.
I feel like you would get that reaction from even like a flu vaccine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I don't think they would do it knowingly, right?
Like the other interesting thing about like this disease, man, and this vaccine is, this is the first time where we were able to turn around a vaccine in such a short amount of time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Usually it takes like 4 years of trials.
Yeah, exactly.
And so there needs to be a level of understanding that because of the seriousness of this virus, they're kind of rolling the die. And if there's going to be reactions out there.
What was the last pandemic? I think a lot of the last pandemic, I think it's the first time in history where a pandemic, I know the definition of the word pandemic is global, but this is a truly global one. Yeah. Right? Like the Spanish flu, I don't think it was truly.
I think it was mostly Europe. It got rid of 1/3 of Europe. Sorry, right. 50 million the population, it narrowed it down by,
But I don't think, I think in a globalized world like today, this is the first true pandemic where it's every country, right? Like maybe 4 or 5 countries don't have it, like remote islands, but literally every country has it.
Yeah.
Some maybe 1 or 2 cases even, right? They have it, right? So like, I don't think that's ever happened in history, right? Because SARS was localized, H1N1 was localized to a few countries,
right?
And it wasn't as deadly. But like this is like the first one that's like everywhere.
You know how we talked about how communication is causing stress.
Yeah.
Like we think that technology is improving our life. Now it's before, when disease would happen and it would be localized disease, it would only be restricted to that continent because of travel, and travel was limited to, let's say, walking and driving and whatnot.
Yeah.
But because of how advanced we are as a society and how connected we are, not just one flight from Toronto to London, but we're talking about hundreds of flights through, like, I'm talking about through like all the flights that are flying in and out of London, all the flights that are flying in and out of Toronto. Our advancement might be our demise. Think about it. And now that's why this disease and infection is able to spread so quickly. For that very reason. So this is like one of the pearls of technology.
Right.
I think just like
do you think the world population is going to keep on climbing?
I think it's going to keep on climbing. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to, right?
I think there's no reason for it not. There's going to be a demographic shift though, a little bit, because like countries like Italy, the population of people over 60 has been really slashed in half.
Has it? Because of the virus, right?
Because remember in the beginning they had like 13,000 deaths a day.
13,000?
Remember, it was 13,000. It was a profound number.
I don't remember the number, but 13,000 is crazy.
It was an insane number. It was a very scary number. It's like, and that's what was like, oh shit.
What's the population of Italy?
Just good question. Let me see.
But like, whatever the population is, that's a lot of deaths.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Italy's population is...
I guess 60 million.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's 60 million.
Oh, wow. I swear to God, that was a guess.
It's 60 million. France, 66.
I know the UK is 60.
Spain, 46. But yeah, man, take that in. And like...
Wow.
Italy is the 5th largest European country.
Well, that's so much more crazier because the UK is like probably half of Italy, probably even less, and it has 60 million people.
Yeah. It's insane. On that note, what do you think about whiskey, man?
What do you think about whiskey?
The Scotch,
so I don't drink that much anymore.
Yeah.
I honestly think that like my next New Year's resolution, maybe like 2 years, is going to be to quit drinking.
Yeah.
To quit liquors and maybe have like a wine.
Bro, I'm like that too now. I like to enjoy my wine. I like to just like have a sip here and there and enjoy it with company, right?
I mean, like,
remember back in the days when we would just like get sloshed and like.
But that brings me back to the original question: is do you like drinking alone? It's not really that fun.
No.
It's good to have conversation.
I like drinking and doing work. Like if I write a book or something.
Yeah.
Or things
you
like
ain't
that.
No fucking author, man. let me hear that verse. Say it for the viewers.
That
verse. Come on, why not? Spill your beans.
Fuck you, man.
Why not? That was a good verse, though.
It was, yeah. I'm working on something.
So why don't you say it?
It's been a life aspiration of mine.
Can we hear it?
To write a book. I don't want to give a preview.
Come on, a small preview.
Huh?
Give us like 2-3 lines then.
What do you mean?
Come on, we deserve that much from the viewers.
Okay, fine.
All right,
I will.
We gotta have some friggin'.
Just because you said it, all right?
Yeah. Give us 3 sentences.
So it's a scene from my Saturday morning when I was like in the elevator. I was coming upstairs.
Okay.
And it was just trying to describe like the moment, right? So
get to the story. Hurry up.
Do you want to read it for me here?
No.
You read it.
No.
Because I can judge, like, and then I can see how it sounds like.
No.
Because the way I'm reading is going to be how it's in my head.
Yeah, that's what we want.
I'm curious to see how it sounds.
No. We want what you do.
So it said, the melancholy in the elevator drowned the silence, but not the thoughts in my head. The balls of my fingertips kept warm from the recycled sleeve nug around the coffee I am holding. And in this exact moment, someone else in the city is doing the exact same thing, but instead sipping a burnt espresso in a fancy demi-tasse in the elevators of the Hazelton Hotel. The mirrors in these elevators bring me back to reality as they collectively say farewell. Vive le, it's the most wonderful. The words inked into the Timmy's cup in my hand, a green glaze in my eyes for obvious reasons. The elevators finally part and my thoughts drown. I hear the echoes of the usual Saturday morning greeting. What up, man? As my key fob kisses the sklage of the glass security door.
That actually when you read it out loud, it actually sounds pretty good.
Right?
Very good. So, what's the obvious green glaze again?
Smoking weed.
Oh, okay. You get a green glaze from that?
No, it was like a play on words.
Oh, green. Okay,
like green glaze, you know what I mean? So that's it, man. Yeah. So
that's actually really, when you actually like write it out, it actually sounds like I was interested. I couldn't remember fully, but it was interesting.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to create, my vision is, my goal in life in 2021 is to create a book of short stories, like short scenes, all connected. And it'll be not my life.
Was it The Man from Toronto, was it?
It's called The Kid from T.O.
Is that Instagram page still alive?
I don't know, but it's called The Kid from T.O.
What do you mean? You created it.
The Kid from T.O. And so I'm going to have short stories. That's it. That's one scene and on to the next page.
Right.
And it's going to be a walk through different phases of your life.
Right.
From partying to late nights to...
So how are you going to get your viewers? Are your viewers the same thing?
I'm doing it for me, man. I always feel like I would love to get a book with my name on it, just on a bookshelf.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? Just
make sure you remember me then.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like...
You're like Humble the Poet.
Yo, shout out to him. But the point is, the intention isn't to I've never been intended to be an author.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to
Well, that was actually really good though, man.
You like it?
So yeah, it was really good.
Dude, growing up, I used to be huge into poetry, writing, spoken word.
Are you coming out of the closet now or later?
Fuck you. So on that note, going into 2021, what are you looking forward to the most, man?
Well, like I was saying, I'm learning. I'm doing some courses like Adobe, Photoshop.
Why?
Right?
So why Photoshop?
I don't know. I find it very interesting. I find interior design, redoing things, and making it catchy to the eye. Like you've been to my place, right? The one that I just did that from start to finish. This is the couch color. This is where the mirror goes. This is where the TV goes. I did that, and I just feel like I have I feel like an eye to that now. Even my condo, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's something I enjoy that because when somebody walks and says, "Oh, this looks really good," it makes me feel good, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But I should do it for myself.
Yeah.
Right. But somebody appreciating your work, for example, me appreciating your story there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't mean much if I know you're saying you're doing it for yourself, but to have somebody say that, "Oh, that sounds really good," is like you say a plus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's so true. Yeah.
Right. So
it gives you a little bit of more momentum that you're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I'm gonna try to get into that. I'm learning Photoshop right now. Then I'm gonna learn. It's so powerful, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know you use for Cricut, you use the InDesign software, which is really good too. I looked at a few videos on that, but
there's so much more you can do with Photoshop.
Photoshop is there's Photoshop and then there's Illustrator and there's InDesign, which is 3 programs they have. Right. So Illustrator I think is more for you can draw it on paper, upload it, and then you can start from there.
Right.
Right. It's more like.
So those are really good for artists.
Yeah, but Photoshop is more editing.
Right.
Right. Whereas InDesign I heard is for more for magazines, so it has a lot of templates and stuff like that, I guess. So that stuff is really. So I'm only 25% into Photoshop,
right?
And I learned it on Udemy. I don't even know if it's Udemy.
Udemy, yeah. So that's funny because my work provides Udemy courses for free.
They're good, man.
They're really good.
They're good and they're cheap. And there's a lot of sales and you have and Excel. I learned a lot. I joined an Excel course from Udemy, and even the Outlook thing, the filter,
dude. I got it.
Rules. Yeah. I had my rules, but then you can do so many things to your rules that it's crazy, right?
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Udemy was great, man. Udemy is one of the
good.
My company provides that as a benefit, and I feel like I don't use it enough. There's actually there's a podcasting course available through Udemy as well.
There's everything on there.
There's everything on there. It's pretty incredible.
Did you do it?
Who, me?
The podcasting course?
I tried. I was just curious for marketing reasons. I did. It helped me out quite a bit.
It's free or you paid for?
It's paid for from the company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your company pays for podcasts?
Yeah. Not podcasts. It pays for Udemy.
Oh, it pays for Udemy. Yeah, any course you want?
I'm not supposed to say this, but I checked out podcasts.
Yeah, fuck. Let me fucking buy them off you then. Seriously.
No. You know my username and whatnot. But yeah, man. So that's that. But yo, dude, I want to ask you something. So going into 2020.
Yeah.
2021. You told me how being
2020 or 2021.
2021. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you told me how a big part of you wanting to. It's been 6 years since you've been a vegan and you've crushed it. And now you're thinking, in 2021, I'm going to pick a really good goal because I know that if I've done that, I'm going to do that. But going into your future years and being a continued, not just a vegan, but an activist against animal cruelty, you have a child.
I think I'm a passive.
You think you're passive?
Yeah.
You used to be active. You used to post all those crazy videos.
I don't, because my friend group is the same. Who am I gonna be an active vegan towards, right? They all know what I fucking stand for sure. Like, so like, unless I have new following, new people, it's the same shit thing over, right?
Well, so let me ask you, like, let's say down the road, a couple of years from now, you have a kid.
Yeah.
And I want to role play with you a little bit. You're a kid. He comes from school.
Kid?
No, I'll be the kid.
Yeah.
He comes from school, and would you want your kid to be a vegan, like growing up?
I think so.
Would you instill those values? Let's say.
I wouldn't instill the values, but I wouldn't force them on
So
them.
let's say he comes home. Let's play this out a little bit.
So I already have a son.
You already have a son. His sonny is
not a daughter.
Sorry, Jasmine. We're not. Right. It could be a daughter, but because I'm a male, I'm gonna pretend like.
Let's just say I have twin sons then. Make it mention.
You have a daughter and I'm the son. Okay. And
twin of them, twins.
And so picture me as your son.
Okay.
I'm the son.
Fuck.
What do you mean fuck? I would think I'd be a great son. Yo, are you trying to diss my mom and dad, bro? So I come from. Okay, I'm coming from school. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. You open the door.
He's not open. Here's the key. Get to the mix. How the fuck did he open the door?
Yo, okay.
First of all, I'm picking his ass up, dragging his ass home, holding his arm in my arm, her arm, and my arm. Yo, let's go home. You're not walking home from fucking school alone. If we live in Brampton.
Okay. I'm dying. I don't know why, but okay. So let's play that. Okay, you grab my arm, you throw me in the fucking car. Now you're driving.
What car?
It doesn't matter what car. You're driving. You're taking me home. I'm like, Daddy.
Yeah.
Today Brian gave me a piece of bologna.
Yeah.
And I ate it with the cracker and cheese. And it was fucking. Sorry, it was really good.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I'll be the first thing. You got to call us at school. There is no Brian. Right? I'm like, you're making up shit. You like bologna. You like bologna. I'm like, that is a bunch of bologna. But I mean, if you really, really like meat, then I'll make you taste it. But you're not having anything else.
Right.
You're under my roof. My house. You can have the bologna. I'm not saying what you can't have.
Yeah.
So you can have it, but I'm saying I guess I have double standards. But I'm saying what you. There's no candy in this house, no ice cream, nothing like that. So I have a little bit of power play too, right?
So you're gonna say you can eat meat, but there's no candy, no ice cream, no nothing in the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would play it that way. I would be like parents should have a little bit of.
So you're kind of saying that you're giving him a treat. Then it's like, okay, if you don't eat meat, I'll start introducing candy, Kit Kat bars. Okay.
Right. So
that's pretty fucked up if you think about it.
Why?
I don't know.
Why is it fucked up?
What if he enjoys?
As you see it on YouTube all the time, what do they say? What do you get a kid to do to eat his or her greens? They play tricks on them, right?
Yeah.
They say they give them incentive, right?
Right.
So all of them is giving incentive. At the end of the day, they're gonna do maybe what I want for 4 or 5 years, and then they're gonna make their own choice, right?
That's a really good point. So this is to all my vegan listeners out there that are trying to figure out parenting 101.
Yeah.
Hit my man Amneet Bola. He's got that. No, that makes sense. I think that's a really good way to look at it. Like if you ever have that. Shit, I expected that to be it's good.
Yeah. So wait, your kids? How about if they want to eat snake, and you've never ate snake? What would you say? Pose a question to you, bitch.
I mean, I would probably get.
Wait. Let me start from the beginning. They're coming from school. Daddy. This kid ate snake today with the teeth were right there and it was alive. I want to do it too. What would you say?
I would say, oh, nice, man.
Nah,
how'd it taste? What do you mean? I wouldn't, dude. I've tasted scorpions before. I'd ask him like, yo, how'd it taste? I wouldn't be against. Like, I think it's weird though. Not gonna lie, because it's like you wouldn't. It's because it's not really a delicacy in Toronto, but in parts of the world, people eat snake.
Yeah, I know.
Now, if my kid comes home and he's
but it's not a known world to you.
It's not a known world to me. Yeah. I mean, I would tell him like, yo, was it clean snake? Where did it come from?
You'd ask questions, but you wouldn't if it was like a chicken.
It was a chicken? Yeah, no.
Right? So like I'm saying like you'd still be a little bit intrigued.
I think you need to be a little bit more of a conscious meat eater too, if you are a meat eater, because like
I don't care, bro.
For me, like it's like if I can make, there was a podcast with Joe Rogan and RZA. And RZA said that if you can't be a vegan for 7 days of the week, that's not what vegans are saying, or anybody against animal cruelty. All we're saying is just pick 1 day a week where you don't eat.
I don't think that's what vegans are saying. Vegans are saying it's a total lifestyle.
No, like what he's saying, is like pick 1 day a week, start with baby steps. If that one individual and everybody in the world just stops consuming 1 day a week meat, that would literally slash like meat production, the demand for meat production,
right,
worldwide,
right.
And then that was profound.
But here's the thing, like that is more, you do that more of because like maybe you want to take chance of your personal health.
Yeah.
The reason, if you do it more for animal cruelty, whatnot, then you wouldn't be able to justify the one day. Right. You like, so if your wife to be is telling you that you know, for you to cut down on meat, is she saying it for health reasons? Is she saying it for animal cruelty? What reasons is it that you want to do it for? Mm-hmm. Tell me. To cut down the meat. So you eat a lot of meat. I mean, I know you do.
I mean, I think I fall in the middle. I am like, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't call you like, yeah.
Yeah, so I think for me, like, I guess.
But what are the reasons you want to cut it down?
Cutting it down is just more so from a perspective of, I think, disease.
Okay, so you think that it does.
Not just disease. Sorry, let me like.
So you're okay with having literal disease?
The type of meat. Like, I'd rather have grass-fed chickens than chicken that is like pumped with steroids.
Okay.
And
so have you made a hard no or yes decision to that?
So I used to use this app. I forgot the name. Flip, I think. It's a grocery stores to look for the cheapest meat when I first moved downtown. Yeah. Now I don't really care for that. I look at, like, I just buy my meat from I'd rather pay more because I think that premium is like the quality of the meat. Yeah. Than cheap out and go to No Frills and buy like, you know, chicken breasts.
No Frills, man.
Just no offense to No Frills, you know what I'm saying? But like sometimes $1.99 a pound. Like, it's like, all right, like, what's good? You know what I mean?
Right, but like, how about places like Whole Foods? And I love Whole Foods. You should listen to the podcast, the Joe Rogan podcast.
So I haven't. Yeah, tell me about that. So the CEO of Whole Foods,
John McKay.
John McKay was on the podcast with
vegan.
Joe Rogan.
He's vegan.
And the CEO of Amazon's vegan, right?
CEO of Amazon?
Sorry, not Amazon. Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
Yeah.
CEO and owner.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, Joe Rogan asked him a very difficult question: how do you sell meat if you're plant based? Right. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. Like, like if I were to open my own restaurant, can I sell meat? Probably not, because it's against my ethics. Yeah. But he said it's not against my ethics. He's like, yeah, I do love animals, but he's like, I understand the greater good for people right now is that I can serve them hormone-free chicken. Okay. Right? So it's whole chicken. It's without the antibiotics and all that, right? Yeah. I think people are, maybe not in my lifetime, they're not going to listen to me. Maybe that a vegan diet is probably best, and I own the business. So I'm trying to do that's what I hate about vegans. It's all about black and white. Okay. Right? And like, it's just about like, you're either vegan or you're not, like you said, right? And that turns a lot of people away. Mm. But what I learned was through a lot of just like thinking is that even if somebody doesn't eat meat for environmental reasons, ethical reasons, or health reasons, I don't care as long as they don't eat meat. Mm-hmm. But before, I used to always convince them that it's for it's for ethical reasons. Right? But for health, they're still saving animals. Environment is still saving animals. Whatever reason, they're still saving animals, right? And that's what John McCain essentially was saying, is that what I thought he was saying is that he thinks a vegan diet is best for thing. But he wrote a book. He said that 10% of your diet being meat is okay. Yeah. Right? Like 10%, like the blue zones, Japan. Yeah. A place in Japan, I can't remember, Equinal. Okay. Yeah, and some place in California. He's like, those are people that live the longest. Have you heard of the blue zones? No, I know. So the blue zones, if you look it up, Google it. It's the people that live the longest in the world. Okay. In Japan, it has a community. California has a community. A few of the people community. It's the people that live the longest.
Okay, so I'll read it. So the 5 blue zones where the world's healthiest people live, right? Number 1 is Ikaria, Greece. This island is 8 miles off the coast of Turkey, and the Aegean Sea has some of the world's lowest rates of middle-aged mortality and dementia. Yeah. And there's Okinawa, Japan, which is what you were talking about, Amneet. There's Okilastra region of Sardinia. I have no idea what that is. Then there's Loma Linda in California and Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica. Right. So these are the 5 of the healthiest people.
Healthy people. Yeah. They live the longest life, and they looked at them and they said, "What do you guys eat? Mm-hmm. Apart from stress management, exercise, being on an island, maybe, good weather, whatnot. The the main thing they had in common was that they had low consumption of meat. Right. So that's what John McKay said. He's like,
that's pretty big, man.
It is. He's like, they did eat. Some of them did eat meat, like salmon and like pork, but like only 10% of their diet was that food. So he's not saying eliminate meat. He's not saying that it's completely bad for you. That it does have obviously nutrients in it, like protein and all that stuff. But he's just saying that it should not be a substantial part of your everyday diet.
Yeah. I think that's big though. Where like if you're someone that's on a carnivore diet, where like 80% of your consumption of all calories is just protein. Yeah. And it's just meat, more particularly. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that's where kind of I'm leaning towards. I think to treat any consumption of meat as a luxury. Yeah. Not as a necessity.
Well, what are the poorest countries in the world? There's a lot of African countries. India is nothing. What do you think they eat? They don't eat fucking steaks.
Yeah, look at India, man. A lot of the things, like the biggest part of any sort of meal in India is roti, and roti is made from wheat. Right, and
dal is cheapest.
And dal, and that's why India is vegetarians, because part of that is aligned to.
I think it's something like 9% India is vegetarian. But in the Golden Temple, the Amritsar, right? All they do is they serve so much roti and so much dal. If somebody did not have anything to eat for freaking 2 months, they could survive on roti and dal. Yeah. Because dal has all the proteins and roti has all the carbohydrates. Yeah. Right?
Have you ever been to the Golden Temple?
I have.
Yeah. The rotis are huge.
They're huge.
They're massive.
At that time, they were unbuttered.
There's no butter at all. They were massive. They were like literally this big.
You been?
I've been. Dude, I lived in India 3 years. I've been to so many.
Show your passport. You're Indian.
I think you brother. Yo, dude, the other day I woke up and this guy sends me a picture. It's my Indian, like it's my passport.
So you are Indian?
Not my Indian passport. It's my permanent resident card in India.
Oh, so he's permanent resident Canada, by the way.
No.
Wait, you're permanent resident in India?
Dude, I'm a Canadian citizen.
Wait, does India even need any more permanent residents?
No. It's called. Sorry, I'm fucking this up.
Why? Why are you permanent resident in India?
It's an extended visa if both your parents are born in India.
So but my parents are born in India.
You had to apply for it. It was you
applied to be a permanent resident.
So I have it's a 15-year visa.
Not working for him.
Right? I lived in India for that reason for 3 years. Otherwise, every 6 months you have to come back to Canada.
Okay.
Did you know that?
That's been like.
Yeah. So I when I went to school in India, I did that. But anyways, this guy sent me a picture. I don't know how the fuck did you get that picture?
I had it from Cancun. Remember booking your tickets.
Gotcha. You fucking are you having the same phone or
no? That's something I went through. I just got a new phone, the Note 20.
Okay. Right? How are you liking that phone?
It's good. And I as soon as I transferred all this shit, I saw all this old shit. Remember I sent you pictures of like you and like you're showing me like your stomach and like you're showing me like your man boobs and shit. So I posted in the group. I'm like, then I deleted it right after. I'm like, yo, you gotta have one fucking whiff of this, and then I gotta delete it right after.
I think that's the group picture right now.
Yeah, it is. It's just you flexing your fucking gut and saying that you're strong or something like that.
Fuck you, man. Yeah, I have to clean my phone too. I have all this unnecessary pictures and stuff.
Crazy,
it's like just like screenshots.
WhatsApp auto downloads is the worst.
That's the worst, man.
People are sending you fucking dick pics all day.
Yeah.
I do it too.
I mean, I think all of us have. We've narrowed down the number of WhatsApp groups we have. Because I only have to be honest with you, maybe like 3 or 4.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I still have like 7 or 8 for sure.
Do you?
Yeah.
Usually the funny thing.
But I don't have Instagram anymore. That's the best boner. I don't know if I'm gonna ever.
I forgot about that. Yeah. It's been how long now? It's been 2 months.
No, it's been like 3 or 4 months at least.
Really? Yeah. I remember Samir was bowing out with you. He lasted. He's like, yo, Fazia made me. I don't know.
Fozzie made him get him back?
Why would Fozzie his excuse? I don't know. He's like, my wife made me.
It's usually the other way around. Wife made me fucking deactivate it. This, that.
Did the wife? Is that what happened with you?
No.
Yeah, it did.
I swear to God.
You're telling me no? Okay.
I swear to God. My Jazzy don't care. She don't. She actually had Instagram herself.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, I'm like, yo, why aren't you deactivating it?
Yeah.
She's like, yo, I like looking at other people's shit. She didn't say that, but I'm like, yo, why do you like looking at other people's shit?
I think it keeps you informed with what's happening in the world.
Nah, it doesn't, man.
It's circle. Like, dude, the other day I met.
Sorry. Back to Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
The guy, John McKay, said this. He's like, you look at Instagram only because you compare your life to others. Mm-hmm. If you don't have anything to compare it to, you'd be much happier, right? I see you. Let's just say you bought a big house, right? I see it on Instagram. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, yo, I'm great. I love Sunny. You bought a big house. I should probably do too. But if I never knew that,
You'd be okay with.
I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, that's been a constant theme in all my podcasts. We say the same thing, that comparison is now easily mobile, like it's mobile now because of social media. You know, a couple weeks ago, actually, like a month and a half ago, I met someone. I haven't seen her in a while, and she's married, has kids. But like, I felt like we didn't lose connection because I was like already informed with everything that's happened since the last time I saw her, which was like university, right? And it's crazy to think that like social media has gotten so connected to the point where now it's also taken that aspect out of it, where we're like, we feel like we need to do more unnecessarily.
Right.
Like you said, buy a house. I'm like, wait, if I not known that that you're driving a fucking G-Wagon, I'd be okay with my.
I'm not, by the way.
I'd be okay with my car, you know, my Tesla, whatever.
Exactly.
One thing I want to ask you, man, is so you were talking about you had back pain.
I have a lot of
back pain. And you've been having a lot of back pain for the last little while. Yeah. What is it? Is it a combination of working from home and bad posture? And what did you do about it?
No. So I think I was just born with back pain. I've had a lot of spine issues and whatnot. So I think to date I probably spent about $10,000 on my back.
For real.
And combining and chiropractic, physiotherapy, and like all these other treatments. Right, nothing has worked. But on Monday, what I got was something called PRP. Okay. Which is called platelet-rich plasma. And what they do is sports medicine. Right. So what they do is they take I don't know if you know what platelets are. Platelets are pretty much like the growth factor in your blood. Okay. They repair stuff. Right. So they're I think they're defense and they're also thing. So what they do is they took blood from my arm. Okay. And from my main vein in my arm, and then they extracted it and they spun it for a while. Right. Somehow they get the platelets up top, and then they extract those and then inject it back into your back. Okay. Right. So they did that.
Is it because there's a lack of red platelets in your spine that's causing?
No. But yeah, there could be that, but it's just the platelets are spread out. But like they take the platelets and they inject it in like the main area that you have a problem. So they do it for knees. A lot of basketball players have knee pain and all that, right? Right. So they put it into your knee, and that pretty much it regenerates. Okay. So it's called regenerative medicine.
Interesting.
Right. Okay. So it's more like not more like masking the pain.
So was this a surgery? Like
it was kind of not a surgery, but like it was needles.
Like to extrapolate the red tablet. Oh, so it's like needles.
Yeah, it's blood or whatnot, right? So I did that Monday. So I do feel a little bit better in my back right now.
Do you?
I do.
A PRP, eh?
PRP, yeah. So like it's sports medicine. So like it's that, but it cost me $2,000.
Yeah.
My bill was $2,000 to do.
How long did the process take you?
Oh fuck! It was just like 15 minutes.
Did your insurance cover it?
No.
Okay.
It's out of. So what the thing is that like Canada fucking sucks in terms of your healthcare. So I've been running around circles to getting my back fixed and like whatnot, and like PRP is out of pocket. I don't know if I feel a little bit better. I don't know if maybe it's a what do you call it? Freaking placebo, right? I don't know if it's
that's real too, man. Like it could be possibly, but like
it could be
but it could not be.
It could be not be. Yeah, but I have a little spine.
Test it out. It's only been what, a week?
It's been a week. We got it Monday.
Yeah.
So like, let's just see what happens. It costs $2,000, but whatnot. But like in Canada, we don't have things like freaking anybody that's suffering of back pain out there, come to me. I have all the answers now. Like I swear to God, I've been through so much pain.
Bola's got the black belt in back pain.
I do.
Hit him up.
Back pain, neck
and for anybody that's having meeting issues as well, hit up.
Yeah, back pain, neck pain. Like they're in Germany. They're so advanced, bro. Yeah. They do artificial discs. So your spine has discs, right?
Yeah.
Like they do artificial discs. In Canada,
those are like 3D printed. I think is what I like.
They're made of silicone.
Silicone. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So in Canada, they haven't even heard of it yet. Most likely. Yeah. Like Germany is much more advanced than us. I made an appointment in Germany. I was gonna go. They're saying $50,000 for me to do that surgery. And
would you do it for $50K?
I don't have $50K.
Yeah.
Right. So like if I had $50K, I would go do it. But some people online, they have that kind of money, right?
Yeah.
So
they can get up and go. Yeah.
They can get up and go, but I don't think that's why rich people are always generally more healthy.
Yeah.
Because they can afford that shit like that. Remember Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
They said he went to Germany for something.
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know what it was.
You heard that though, right?
Yeah, I remember.
He went to Germany for something because like Western medicine sucks.
Yeah.
Like the European countries and like Asian countries are so much more advanced.
Mm-hmm. I think that's where like there's a bit more globalization in that aspect too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yo, that's good. Like, let's test it out, see how it is. Yeah. Otherwise, man, let's try to wind down. Going into 2021, a couple of days away. 2020 has been a roller coaster of emotions, profound changes, a lot of highs, but also those lows. What's your biggest advice to everybody out there that's getting into 20? What's your advice?
My advice.
What are you going to tell? Because one of the questions I asked today was, if you could go back to 2019, what would you tell yourself? What would you tell future you, the 2021 version of you?
Just, I guess, stay sane, I guess, right? Like you said, we're in the best place of, we should appreciate what we have, right? Like, people are dying out there. 80 people died yesterday, right? Yeah. Like, if we just compare our life to our own lifestyle, we won't be happy. But compare it to others a little bit. This is the first time in history where you should compare it to others, right? And be like, my life is better than that person, right? Usually you're saying,
well, that's the pinnacle of gratitude.
Yeah, it is.
It's just when you compare, like, we always vilify comparison because of social media, but social media also has a lot of positives, man.
You compare your life. Compare your life in a way where that you're like your first point was like gratitude, like a homeless person. Like, your life is very not what you're drinking. You're drinking scotch, having a podcast. People are out there not doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So exactly.
And not the ability to casually just drive downtown and go back to my parents.
Exactly. Yeah. So like you said, that what you said is
absolutely, man.
That is my point.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And I think that's we're going to probably reconvene again in the new year. For everybody else, guys, you know what? It's been, thanks for tuning in. It's been a fun episode. Always is with this guy, Amneet.
Thanks for having me.
It's been, we're
forcing me to come downtown.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
During lockdown, we're illegal.
Get the
311 on us.
We're going to order some food. And for everybody else, happy holidays. Stay safe, stay sane. And we'll hear from you soon. Peace.